Hi guys, welcome to Hatchfoot Economics. My name is Connie. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe right down here to this channel. And the whole purpose of this channel is the economic empowerment and financial freedom of women of color, Afro, Latina, Indigenous, brown people. So today I have a really big treat for us. I actually got the time to speak to Natasha, and she's one of the ladies I'm working with. If you're not familiar with me, just really quick, I don't want to waste your time, but give you some feedback on me so it makes sense what I'm talking about. Besides being an HR director in the day, I have several side ventures that I do. do. I do proposal planning and wedding event planning. I have a lovely Instagram channel that is very successful, or Instagram page. I know how to work that Instagram like nobody's business. And I am a GIA certified gemologist. So that means I am trained and schooled in gems and diamonds. So it's a course I started with my IGI, which is the International Gemological Institute of America. And I decided to upgrade it to the highest one. So it's a really great thing to do. It's very creative. Men that go shopping for engagement rings that are expensive, when men go shopping, it's very complex. Diamonds are a part of science. And if you're spending about 20, 30, 40, $50,000, that is an investment. That's like buying a house or putting a down payment on a house. So if you're not too sure, you can lose your confidence or you can get swindled. You could get swindled. So it's really important that they know what you're doing. So I do two things. I give diamond courses where I sit down with men or a group of men and I teach them about diamonds, the 4 C's, and they can ask me any questions. And if you like my company that much, what people tend to do, you can take me shopping with you and I will help you select the best diamond. I will be your shield against the jeweler who wants to steer you to what they need to sell for the day. So anyway, enough about me. Just want to give you some background on what I do. I was dealing with a client, and his name is Hector, and he's half Portuguese and Italian, and he has a beautiful fiance. Her name is Natasha, and she's from the Ukraine, so very exotic. But so I was really impressed that she snagged this guy. She's like 23, 24. The guy she snagged is no joke. He's a Yale graduate. He's a hedge fund manager. He works in blah, 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 in Wall Street, blah, blah, blah. Lives next to Wall Street, so that's a good apartment there. And is totally smitten with her, like obsessed with her, wants to make her happy. He thinks the sun and the moon, the stars set on her. So when he gave her the ring and I helped him plan the proposal, I put my little note in the cards and she wanted to meet me. And I'm helping to plan their wedding in Bali, which is an island, I think, in the Middle East. I think it is. I'm not too sure. But I'm helping her with her destination wedding there. So that's going to be really fun. So as I'm talking to her, I felt really comfortable. She was incredibly down to earth, really pleasant lady to talk to. And I started talking about my page, my Hatchfoot Economics, dating Darwinism, beyond black and white. Because whenever I see a woman, in my mind, that's success. Like she got a wonderful, educated husband. He's completely in love with her, completely devoted to her. It's not just about the ring. The way he talked about her was like he won the lottery. Like I love to see men in love. That's one of the cheesy things I love about doing what I do. I see men in love. So when people tell me, oh, men are hard, no. Men fall, they freaking fall. But they're very specific in who or what they fall for. So I don't think women should waste their time. I've been doing this for a long time. Okay? So I wanted to ask her some questions. I was shy because I never ask my clients questions about how they met a guy in terms of wealth, economics. I never ask a customer like, did you try to get connected to a certain man? I ask romantic questions. And most of the questions I ask the guy because I'm helping him pick the ring. I'm helping him plan an event. So it's not me asking the girl. But I said, you know what? As nervous as I was, I said, let me ask her because I have this group here and I want to know, how did she get this successful guy? How did she get such a, eligible bachelor who can easily choose? He's about 44 years old. Salt, pepper here, handsome. He could be single for 10 more years and easily be happy. Like he does not have to marry her. Is she pretty? Sorry. She's very attractive, but there's plenty of attractive women in Manhattan. That's not a wake-up call. That's not like, oh my God, ring the bell. So I'm on the page now, and the reason I have is because I want to go through the questions. So Cheryl said 8 carats, does she lift weights? Cheryl. That's why I love her. Monique Hester, okay? I hope I said your last name right. Monique Hester. How did they meet? So before I even go into that, I just want to talk really quickly because I asked her that question and she gave me the same spiel, and I promised that I would give her the same feedback. So I give you guys the same feedback. So she said in Ukraine, marriage is different from America. In Ukraine, you raise your daughters and you let your daughters know you will never make as much as a man. You can argue all you want, but they're talking about economic statistic wise, which is the same in America. You know, she gave me the ideas of, you know, look at American boardrooms, look at the corporates, look at the CEOs, look at the senior executives of the biggest companies. They're all white males. So she said it's not, in her book, gold digging when you're seeking out as a woman your best economic partner. Because she said at some point you're going to be pregnant. At some point, even if it's for 3 months or 2 months, you're going to stay home if you have a baby. And she said at some point you're going to need that partnership. So it's up to you as a woman to get the best possible match. So, as she was talking to me, I'm just listening. I'm just giving you exact feedback what she said. So she said that, you know, we're raised that getting married, being the wife, is one of the most honorable things you can do. And she said, don't get me wrong, education, success in business, wealth is huge in Ukraine. You know, it's a break off from Russia. They love money. But she said it's still the main priority of dating in the Ukraine. You date to get that economic partner, you date for love, but you're looking out for your financial interest, financial freedom, and there's nothing wrong with that. They are not shy about seeking their best economic match. And she said, Connie, why is that so taboo in America? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, how do you see it? She came in when she was 16. Now she's 23, going on 24. And she said, Connie, it makes absolutely no sense because the number one cause for divorce is money issues. She said the more stable your partner is, even one of you, the more stable you are as a team, the less chances and exposure you are to divorce. And she's absolutely right. I don't know if you guys saw, but I posted on Beyond Black and White, which is Crystalline's page. Definitely subscribe to that YouTube channel. It's off the heezy. But she said the same thing we were talking about in this same group. And it's the same thing I talk about in Hatchford Economics. That's how I got to this, is that it doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what country you're in. Economics is economics. And she was telling me that if you are successful, you need that foundation, you need that family, you need that partnership. It is imperative. So I was nodding with her because I said, okay, we talked about this, how billionaires have ridiculous low divorce rates. And she said, Connie, they have every reason to go out there and be with a ton of women, but once you reach a certain level of success, you know the best thing for you is to find a stable partner. And she said, that's what I'm trained to do. So Monique, back to your question, how did you meet him? He went to Yale. So she said she looked for parties, college hangouts, to see where students would hang out from Ivy League schools. She didn't meet him by chance. She put herself in those environments. One of her pet peeves, she said, would be American women taking 4 or 5 hours to get ready just to go to a place where there's no eligible men. This is my pet peeve too. I had this experience the other night with one of my friends. I hope she never sees this video because she's gonna know exactly who she's talking about. And I went out with her, and it was mostly for her because I have a boyfriend, and she, you know, she's freshly divorced. And I'm like, this place was the worst place. It was like a sardine party, nothing but punani. And there was no guys. And the few guys that were there did not need to be there. I'm not going to say anything else. But why are we still going to the club? Why are we still going to a dance club? Like I'm 38 years old and she's the same age. Why aren't we going to places to meet established men? But women just don't know how. And it's almost taboo in a way. Like she explained to me, it's almost taboo in a way where women don't want to do that, where women feel, oh, I'm a gold digger. And she said, Connie, if you are going to be with this guy and have children with this guy and lay down with this guy and join your life with this guy, how in the world are so many women skipping economics and finance and skipping the number one reason that causes divorce? So she made sense. So she said, for you women, no matter what you are, black, white, Filipino, doesn't matter. She said, look to see by his zip code. And she gave me the links. I'm going to post it, where they have the most single, eligible, and financial men, meaning that financially stable men. I can look that up very easy. Like if you want to buy a house, look up demographics and put the zip code, and it breaks it down by college degree. It breaks it down. This is what she taught me, and I can give you guys the site. So basically, you act like you're buying a house, or just do a Google for 111. Say demographics of, and you fill in the zip code or city, wherever it may be for you. And most of these websites will give you a systematic breakdown, and you can see the percentage of single men. So if you've never seen that before, I'm going to post it to the page. Doesn't matter what state you live in. I think it even works by country. So it can tell you what zone. And it actually tells you education, how many men are single, married, how many marriage households. This is what she was doing. And this is how she found this guy. Are you kidding me? Like, I said, wow. So she said when she met him, she was at a party. It was at a club, but not like a dance club, like a social, where all the kids, the school hang out. She said she met a couple of guys there. She stood out to him. He stood out to her. They started dating. So I paused it and was like, did he ask you about going to Yale? Like, did he try to look down on you because you weren't an Ivy League student? And she said, Connie, you have to know how to sell yourself. She said, I told him I was doing real estate. I told him that I'm into investing. And she said, I didn't lie. I just didn't have all those means. She said she carried herself exquisitely well. She never complained about can't finding a date. She never made herself seem like she was too available. And she just said, you have to have a level of confidence. And I was really impressed with her. She said, I was educated by self. I knew about world events. I started engaging him about politics and the government and the economy. She said, stop depending on formal education. If you get one, amazing. But she said, just because, you're not going to an Ivy League school is no excuse to be naive or ignorant of world events. So she said she gets into a habit of learning everything that's going on in the stock market. So she'll be a good conversationalist, and also it's good for her. For a living, she worked at, I believe, one of the higher end stores, Bergdorf or Henry Bendel, as just a regular sales associate, but she was more concerned with networking. She said networking was almost a full-time job, and also taking care of herself. So I'm going to look at another question. This is Nikki Harris, all right? Oh, sounds juicy. I like to hear about the fiance. Age, 44. Occupation, hedge fund. Then how she hooked him. She just started dating him, and she kept it very traditional. She did not go to his house for the first 2 months. If you're talking about punani skills, she was kind of vague with that, but she told me, honestly, I always wait 3 months or even longer. And she said it has to be, I'm getting somewhere. And she said when she got to New York, it was hard for her to even get to be sexual because so many of the guys had bad habits. So she said, with this guy, he had to verbally confirm that, will you be my girlfriend? And she said she was not doing wifely duties. Girlfriend meant you're still taking me out on a date. You're still keeping it new. She said she really limited going to each other's places. And I was like, wow. And she said she was extremely conscious of that. Like, she would make excuses. My roommate is over. She said she never had a roommate. My house is a mess. She purposely did that on purpose to keep some control over the speed, the physicality of it, because that's when men fall in love. That's when men are forced to get to know you. Sex, when you start having sex in a new relationship, it can take over. You can be going through the sex zone, I call it, for the first 2 to 3 months. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to get so engrossed into sexual behavior. I'm not saying you got to be a virgin, but if you're looking for a husband, you have to stand out from the other females. He's rich, he's attractive, he's educated, he's making money. If you're going to do what every other girl's doing, you're going to end up like every other girl. And you can't be scared not to open your legs because, oh, he's going to walk away. She said he's going to walk away anyway. So she's a ninja. All right? Who approached who? He approached her, and she said the key to making men approach you is eye contact and smiling. I suck at that. When a guy looks at me, I run away. When a guy I don't know how to make eye contact. She said if you are engaging to a man and you make eye contact, you're looking and you smile, that's enough, she says. You don't have to break your balls. And that's the word she used, break your balls. And oh my God, how do I approach men? She said, your eyes as a female, men are programmed to react to the stare of a woman. And she said, not a crazy stare, but like you're smiling and your eyes are saying, hi, welcome. She said, that's important. You always want a man to feel like he's conquering territory. She said it sounds minuscule and silly, but it really does matter, if the man approaches you. She's really adamant about that. I didn't think she would care, but she said they need to be in conquering mode and pursuing mode from beginning to end. Did she know he was rich up front? Yes. Because she did her demographic search, she knew in that area where the parties were having and stuff, she knew that more than likely that he was going to be a man of stature. She didn't belong there. And she said most of the people who were partying there were either students of Yale, graduates, alumni of Yale, or people that live in that really expensive Yale area. So, they met at this dinner party social for Yale alumni students, like a hangout spot. I'm not too sure of the place. Let me see if I can look it up. Because she told me the name of it. I'm looking for you guys now. So I think she said it was like a club. Like, I can't remember, but she said it was a club slash like a lounge near Yale. So I'm thinking if this is Connecticut, it's not going to be crazy like New York with mad nightclubs, and it's a posh area. Connecticut's very posh. So, and I just want you guys to know, she doesn't live in Connecticut. This is how serious she is. She does not live in Connecticut. I want you to think about that for a section. She drove and she's taking the train and she's going to the area, the lounges where people, are known to go there. Like she's searching on the web. So she's serious. So let me just finish the questions. I don't want the video too long, but it's a lot of questions. That's why I want to do a live answer coming up. You guys, some of these questions are hilarious. I love the questions. Let me see. I am looking. Oh, it's in dating Darwinism. Hold on. All right. Nikki, we're still on your questions. Miss Nikki Harris, we're still on your questions. Where did they meet? Connecticut, around Yale. How long? Oh, well, you're going to get mad about this. They have not been dating for more than a year. It's been exactly a year. And she has an 8.5 carat ring. Yeah. And she didn't sleep with him right away, if you're wondering. So she told me it's about 11.5 months, almost a year. So she got a ring, engaged to get married in almost a year. And she told me the secret is to spending maximum time with the guy. I said, what do you mean? She says, Connie, talking, getting to know him, asking the right questions, learning to be a conversationalist. She said, I know I sound like I'm bullshitting you, but she said, what does he know that you have in common, that you guys can talk and bond on? She told me something crazy today. She said that text messaging is destroying relationships. And I'm like, whoa, why do you say that? And she said, Connie, women and men are lacking conversational skills. They don't know how to interact. They don't know how to hold a conversation, how to persuade somebody, how to communicate. She said people are writing Bible texts. And she said, back in the day, back in the 80s and the 90s, that generation got free communication skills, talking on the phone. I remember in Bushwick, I used to be on the phone in 2-3 hours. Now, I can't remember the last time I had a long conversation like that, even with my own boyfriend. So she said that's the big missing piece, is that men are not emotionally connected. The telephone, the chat, staying up late. For those of us who are more mature, we can remember that, like falling asleep on the phone, hanging up the phone and calling right back. She said you need to establish emotional connection. Go to the game with him, share a moment with him, do his hobby with him. So when he thinks about living his life, he's going to incorporate you into that. So she said that's not happening. That's not happening in this dating world. Everything is fast, fast, fast. Text, text, text. No phone talk, no phone talk. And she said she made sure talking on the phone, she lied to him and said, oh, I didn't learn English that long ago. I don't feel confident in texting. Bullshit. She speaks better English than me. This girl's a fucking assassin. Like, she knew what she was doing. Did she give him the cookies first? Oh, like Mariah. So she said she didn't have sex with him to almost a little bit over 3 months. And she said it's because he formally, and she said she doesn't put a time on it. She said she waits for him, or any guy, to formally said, I want you to be my girlfriend. I want to be your boyfriend. This is going to be monogamous. I'm serious about you. Something along that term, not word for word. So I asked her that too. She's blonde, but she's blonde. You're right, dirty blonde. But she's not 00. She's curvy. And some Russian women tend to be curvy with a booty. No, she's not black. Cheryl. Bernadette, thank you. I was nervous because I'm not an interviewer like that. I interview for work, but not personal life. I felt like a fake ass Oprah. Okay. Crystal Gatson, one of my favorites here. How you doing, Crystal, if you see this video? Please ask what does she think of women with no extensive prior dating experience? Does it reflect poorly upon that woman? Do men pick up on that and hold back? All right, so I did show her this question, and she said, you're adorable. She said, Connie, please tell black women to stop telling men their scarlet letter. This is what she said for black women. She said, it doesn't matter how bad your last relationship was. It doesn't matter what you've been through. You make that guy think that you've been getting treated like a Mercedes Benz. And I completely agree. She said, when you start talking to a guy, from the minute they meet you until they're sure about you, they're assessing you. Men are very obsessed, meaning that they're trying to access you, assess you, everything you in the first couple of meetings. Women, we're more forgiving. We like to try to explain emotional or rationalize situations that don't fit us. Men don't do that. If something's off, that's it. Next. So she said, if you don't have no dating prior experience, go to dating courses, read on books, decide how you want to date. But that guy should not know. You should never tell a guy, I don't have dating experience, because that's a bullseye on your face. Does it reflect poorly? No. She said, absolutely not. She said, that means you are consciously thinking about how you want to date. She said, absolutely not. Do men pick up on that and hold back? She said, again, you shouldn't even be going into that. She was like, saying some things in a different language, because I guess that one question got her heated. She said, absolutely not. She said, when you're dating a guy, it's like going on an interview. Do you tell your job interview you got fired from your last job? Do you tell your job interview that your boss didn't get along with you? So why are you telling these truths to a guy? She said, get a good guy, get a therapist or a friend you can talk to. But she said, all this unloading on men is not good. Hi Toby, I'd like to hear about the meeting. Asked if she had specific strategy to meet wealthy men. Sheila, yes. She said she Googles, she searches, she travels. She lives in New York, in West 4th. She is only 23, 24 years old. What was she doing in Yale, Connecticut? She was hanging around the area. She taught me, I'm going to show you guys on the computer how to look up demographics, meaning that you can see which zip codes have the most educated men, have the most men, and actually by zip codes to see how many men in that zip code is not married. So this is what she does. And she looks to see where these types of men socialize. She most definitely made an effort to meet a wealthy man. She has no qualms about that. She said men make effort to meet the most beautiful women that they can get their hands on. That's what's precious to them. Women try, or should try, to get the most economically sound man because that's what's most precious to them. And she's absolutely right. She said, There's not even income equality. She said, Connie, it's not being a gold digger. You need to pair yourself with a good man. And she said, just because you don't have a fancy education doesn't mean you cannot inform yourself, hold a really great conversation, and still show massive signs of intelligence. Because I'm talking to her, she's really articulate. She knew about politics, the government. She was passionate about certain things. She had her hobbies. She had her interests. So, I'm very impressed with her. Do man, let me see. So Sheila, again, the demographics, she does a search. Let's just say, I don't want to take the phone off the thing I have it on. Let's just say you want to look up zip code 111 or 169. You can type into your Google search demographics of 169. You're going to see a link, and there's going to be a link with like graphs and stuff, which is very easily to read. And it actually breaks down by sometimes race, sometimes medium income. You'll see consistency in that. If they're educated, what type of degrees that people have in that area. It's really amazing. So I'm going to post that link on later on. Sheila Brown, also sexist. She made him wait. She made him wait. She made him wait until he was ready to make a solid commitment relationship wise. She said the one night stand thing is just not good. She said you can get there by doing that, but you could put a lot of mileage on your vagina. And she said when you are talking about higher and rich circles, very wealthy circles are connected because they're smaller circles. And she said the worst thing is you get a name for yourself. The worst thing is you're known to be that girl lurking around rich men. You really don't want that. So the more wealthier the guy, the more tighter the legs gotta be. That's her words. And Brittany, that's why I'm doing it like this. Your questions about transcribing. That's why I didn't want to do a live talk with this alone. Because I know you can't read or participate. So hopefully I'm going to upload this onto YouTube. Hopefully it goes tonight because it could be a pain, and get this done for you. Bonita Bugatti, sexy name, Cruz. What did she do with her life before meeting him, especially as a woman who didn't graduate high school, jobs, career choices? So she has a different perspective. Her job, her career, her choice was to nail and marry a wealthy man. And it might sound shallow to you, but as somebody who came from the Ukraine, it's a poor country. She didn't have the luxury to go to college. She needed to work full time. So what she does say about black women, she loves black women, by the way. She's obsessed with Michelle Obama. She says she's huge in Europe, Eastern Europe. People love Michelle Obama. They love the Obamas. And she was such a great role model for other people to see that were not African American, other women to see this high statuesque, beautiful black woman. So I asked her that question, and she said, Connie, my career is taking care of me. I make sure I go to the gym, I drink lots of water, I eat healthy. My attraction level is worth my weight in gold. And at first when she said that, I was like, And she said, Connie, your youth is worth its weight in gold. Your femininity and your fertility. She said, Connie, people are paying money for fertility. People are paying money to harvest and preserve their eggs. So I was like, oh shit, she has a point. She said, it's such a weird society in America where, on one hand, you have women complaining about an anti-woman society. There's no Family Medical Leave Act for pregnancy. You guys take a regular leave of absence. There's not a lot of help and assistance to moms. Moms aren't really respected in the workforce. But on the other hand, you have the rest of the American female society saying, don't get married. We hate men. You don't need men. So she said, you have to find what's true to you. And she said, while you are young, you can get the best possible husband while you are young. And she said, your youth is worth its weight in gold. So before anybody argues and say, oh my God, it's so superficial, what the plastic industry, the plastic surgery industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Facelifts and wrinkles and Botox, cinch this, waist this, that butt out, boobs done. So looks matter. Women see the value in looks. You know, plastic surgeons would be multimillionaires if looks didn't matter. And it's a very still taboo subject to talk about in the American industry, you know, especially with African American women. God forbid, you know, an African American woman touches her nose or her ass like she's just fake, fake, fake. And it's really unfair because we know as females how unfair it is could be for looks. So she said, you know, taking care of yourself is top priority. And she said something that was crazy. I'm a little thirsty. I'm going to get my drink. So she said to me that she was sitting around with a bunch of her friends, and if African American women were to actually get in shape, she said, because African American women don't age. She said, Connie, it's terrifying. They look the same after 30. They could be 100. She had me laughing. And she said, could you imagine if African American were to get in shape and get fit? Like, we wouldn't be able to keep our men. And this is a Russian Ukrainian female saying this. This is not me making it up. So she said, fitness matters. So I said to her, listen, Black women have curves. And she said, Connie, curves are in. One of the most, she let me know, one of the most popular Instagram models is Russian. Her name is Anastasia. Look her up on Instagram. And she bought every single curve. What? She got ass twice as high as Kim Kardashian. She got like 15, 20 million followers. Curves are in. So she said it's not about being a twig. That's gone. You know, she said, but just being the most fit possible you and knowing how to work that. And she said that's the last frontier for Black women is getting that shape, getting that body together, getting that fitness together. And she said if Black women were to able to do that, that there would be no need for other women, because she was just telling me how amazing we are. Even with me, I told her I'm 38. I'm born May 15, 1979. I'll be 39 less than a year, next May 15 coming right around. And she couldn't believe it. Like, she's looking at me and she's like, where's your wrinkles? And I'm like, what wrinkles? Like, I have makeup on, but that's just to even out my blotchiness. I don't have wrinkles. I don't have anything. So she was like, have you got work done? You look like you're bone. I said, no, this is all mama. Mama gave it to me. So Black women, take care of your fitness. She said part of your job in your youth is to take care of your fitness. Also reduce your stress. Make sure you look nice and soft. Don't make anything stress you out. She was like, don't think it's shallow, because youth is fleeting. And that's one of the things that Black women have in abundance, that we hold on to our looks better. So we have a double life. She said to me, are you married? I said, no. Are you engaged? I said, no, I got a boyfriend for 2 years. Hopefully it'll happen soon. And she said, you know, Black women have double life. You can go back and do everything you didn't get to do when you were younger. But she was saying dating strategically, it matters. So it's not about being a 00, not even a size 6, but it's about being the best, most fit possible you, eating healthy, eating clean. Because remember, there's a certain look of a rich wife. There is. And it doesn't matter if you are a size 14 or a size 0. It's about looking as clean and as polished as you can for you. So interns for jobs. She said, Connie, you never stop learning. So she actually did get into real estate. She's a real estate agent. She works in sales. She makes more money than I do. Not as, probably with the one job, not with everything. I do all right for myself. And she said, Connie, it's not about just college all the time. And I was trying to say that in my Hatchbook page, that we are stuck on college as if a master's lets you walk into a building and earn 6 figures. I have a master's from Cornell, and that is not the key to my success. I can tell you right now, the key to my success is networking, being an entrepreneur, and learning the advantage of financial freedom and truly trying to build generational wealth. The key to my success is not the masters, because if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, if you want to be, an architect, or you want to be a scientist, by all means, go to college, get that education. But if you're like, Connie, I want to be financially free, do your research. It doesn't matter where you live. I had a wonderful young lady talk about the Hatchwood page, and she was wondering if it pertained to her because she's not in America. Wealth is universal. America's not even the richest country anymore. China is killing us. I posted stuff about Chinese billionaires. You know how Chinese billionaires are being started in their own lifetime? Real estate. And that's why I posted about real estate. Some of the biggest real estate settlements are in Africa. People are scooping up African real estate, and we are black and we're not even getting it. Chinese are coming to America and scooping up American real estate. All these gentrification areas and formerly poor performing urban spots are all owned by the Chinese. So whether you're doing investment, land developing, or just real estate sales agent, it's the sure way to build real generational wealth real fast in your real lifetime. So that's what she's doing. She's actually into real estate sales. She works in Core, which is on 23rd Street in Manhattan. I told her I work for real estate too. I work for LG Fairmont. Yes, your girl is crazy. I do everything. So I just started with real estate because I graduated, I passed my class, and that's the company I'm working with, getting jiggy with it. So I'm just going to stop the video here. I don't want to make it too long. So if I miss any questions, please forgive me because I don't want to make it too long. But again, strategically, yes, she uses demographics, she uses zip code searches, and she sees where they're the most eligible single men because it gives you that search. I'll put it under the video. When it comes to dating is her main objective in her youth. She's trained that way, she's raised that way, and she sees it as an economic necessity, especially for a woman. And she said women of color should double be doing it because we have so many challenges, so much discrimination against us that marrying well could either make or break us. So she said it's not about just being a gold digger because you don't want to marry a guy who's an asshole. You don't want to marry a guy who's cheating on you or hitting on you. You want to marry a guy that you have stuff in common with. So that's beyond education. She said she knows how to hold a conversation. She's well versed on world events. She's able to engage men on different topics because she knows a lot about different topics. She loves sports. She loves science. She loves going out to nature and doing hikes. So she's just really well versed and well rounded. Again, she does not like texting. She thinks that you need to, as a woman, especially in the beginning, spend as much time as possible learning about him, asking questions, asking about his family, asking what he likes, what he doesn't like to do. She said basically it's like an interview. She did not have sex right away. She said she waits until the man says, I want to be with you, monogamous, serious relationship. Will you be my girlfriend? So she says she does not believe in acting like a girlfriend before you are, and she takes it serious. She got engaged in under a year because he saw her as a force of nature. She treated herself well. She told me, Connie, there were certain days that I did not feel good. There were certain days I went on a date with him. I only had $5 in my bag. He did not know. One of the most important things I think she said is don't tell men about your bad experiences, your bad dating. Oh, I don't have a boyfriend. Oh, I haven't dated. Oh, so you got to make yourself seem covetable. You got to make yourself seem in demand. Men want things that other men want. You got to make yourself seem like a trophy. She doesn't believe in you asking him first because she thinks it's like a primal trigger. So make the eye contact, look at him, smile, wave, but allow him to pursue you. She thinks pursuit is one of the best things. If there's always a pursuit going during the course of the relationship, you can feel it, you'll get married faster. So that's it, guys. I'm going to post this video. It's 9:44 Eastern time, so I'm going to do the question and answers. Hopefully this video loads. YouTube gives me such shit. All right, guys, so enjoy, and I hope this video made sense. Enjoy, and again, please like and subscribe. Hatch with Economics. Share this video. I want to grow this channel. I want Black women to get economically empowered, financially free, and finally speaking the truth of what we need to do socially, economically, financially to be secure. This was Hatch with Economics. I'm Connie. Please like and subscribe.